What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Polestar. It finally showed some signs of life. I want to break it down on some of the current data points, what shorts did, and what Polestar just put out. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Polestar did go up a very impressive 23.9%, had a high of around 89 cents, and then a low pullback, I think first thing, or around here, around 76 cents. So all in all, a very good day. A lot of volume as well, so 39.5 million shares being traded, 9.9 is the average. So a lot of the volume being done was algorithmic trading linked to clearly the positive news. You did have some transactions mostly done on the dark pool though, so very interesting stuff. Kind of shows some signs of manipulation. So I'm going to talk about what shorts did because a lot of people are saying that Polestar had a good squeeze today. So I wanted to kind of clear the air a little bit, but there was no actual SEC filings, rather this news that came out early this morning. And it says Polestar expands commercial footprint and retail operations, announces plan to enter 7 new markets during 2025. And so those markets are ultimately going to be, looks like France, Germany, looking to launch in Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Poland, Thailand, and Brazil. Very interesting to note about Thailand though, because a lot of Chinese automakers have recently stated that they're actually going to be moving to Thailand to kind of go around that whole tariff coming from the EU. So very interesting to see. So Thailand might be that hot new location, but nonetheless, I think this kind of proves a lot of the naysayers wrong, because a company that is failing typically doesn't expand. So I see that as a pretty good thing in my opinion. And obviously though, to play devil's advocate, a lot of the bears might say, well, you know what, expansion costs money, blah, blah, blah. So obviously kind of that's the flip side. And when it comes down to this news as well, it talks on a lot of their experienced leadership that they've added to kind of help with that transition into those new markets. And it looks like, funny thing is, that they poached majority of them from NIO. So I think NIO definitely has had very good management. That's one thing that's really put them on the map. And yeah, I think in reality, Polestar is doing a phenomenal job, because I think Polestar is very, very smart. Like, I got to give it to them. I've always said that they're very smart, but they don't seem too business savvy. Whereas NIO is kind of the opposite end, because they seem to be a little bit more analytical with their mentality for business. And so I think in reality, poaching a couple NIO employees, key level employees, is going to be very good for Polestar bigger picture. So let me know your thoughts on that, if that's going to be something of interest to you or not. Polestar didn't do any PR about this, but they also posted this on social media, talking on the whole new NVIDIA chip and how that might help with autonomous driving. It looks like, based on the explanation, for it to be higher than level 3. So I think that is very good, and that's one thing that I've said from the very beginning. So when I first started covering Polestar, I kind of really liked the fact that they could really ramp up. I didn't like their crappy technology at the time, but since then, I've been covering Polestar for about 2 years now. They have really put a lot of money and attention into their technology. So the fact that now they are going to be having that new drive core, which also Lucid does have, or at least will implement, I think, later this year or early next year, this is going to help with autonomous driving, putting Polestar on the map. And so, yeah, I think this in reality is amazing stuff. So anticipate official news associated to this probably sooner rather than later. And like I've complained about in the past on Polestar videos, this should warrant its own PR just based on this. This shouldn't just be a social media post. A lot of people, old school people, might not have Twitter or Instagram or whatever else. So I think this does need to be more formalized in, like I said, through PR, but what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor. Regardless, this is kick-ass news, and it kind of goes to show that at least this is now what you can focus on, right? Because this is going to also divert attention away from, hey, where's Polestar's earnings, blah, blah, blah. this is now looking forward to the future. So I think, again, this is kind of like a 2-for-1. It's going to divert attention as well. It is generally good news. But aside from all that fun jazz though, a lot of people are saying what happened today was a squeeze. And I kind of want to beg to differ, and I want to clear the air, because shorts did increase 336,000 shares. So there was no squeeze right now. A lot of the fundamentals kind of do justify that it's heavily shorted. And if they do continue obviously on this trajectory in the news, then yeah, they could have a nice squeeze. But utilization 74.93%, cost to borrow average is 9.7, so kind of in line with the last several trading days, and a grand total of 27.7 million shares overall are being shorted. So shorts again kind of increased today. So as far as a squeeze, it might still be on the table for the foreseeable future, but right now, not so much. Maybe if Polestar put out this news and elaborated a little bit more on why people should care, because it doesn't actually bring up the word autonomous driving in here. So if they did some PR, said, hey, this is actually going to get us for level 3 or higher, and this is why investors should care, then yeah, you never know. That could really prompt a squeeze. So let me know your thoughts on that. And since my last Polestar video, there was one new analyst rating that did come out. Wasn't any good, but it did come out 6 days ago. And obviously on my videos, I like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of the latest updates. So latest Polestar rating was a sell rating, $15 from Bernstein and Daniel, who has a 54% success rating. So not the best all in all, but hopefully with this news, or possibly just approval or like above $1, then this is where Polestar could get a lot more rushing of positive ratings, or maybe they're just waiting for Polestar to submit their earnings. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But this is just a quick update for that. Moving on to options activity. So today there was 77,000 in calls, 8,000 in puts. And sentiment wise, so 61% of all the options being done today were bullish and optimistic, but no doubtably a lot of that was done by shorts just hedging, just in case Polestar was to get above $1. That way shorts can kind of cover their bases a little bit. So something to kind of keep in mind. Looking at the open interest so far, you do see kind of an understanding that Polestar might actually be above $2 by this week. So expiring June the 21st. So that is one of the monthly options. And that's one negative of Polestar, is they don't have weekly options, only monthly. But still, beside the point, there's a lot of optimism that Polestar is going to continue this nice run up. And then looking at puts, not much, but kind of vice versa. It looks like they're capping it at around $2. So something to kind of keep in mind. On the actual chart itself, with it closing at 84 cents, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 70 cents is going to be that next strong support. Kind of bounced off of that general area as far as the low today. And then 99 cents is going to be that next strong resistance / target. And when it comes down to Polestar, based on the trading activity, it has been below $1 for 20 consecutive trading days. If they do continue that for 30, this is where they could be on the chopping block with Polestar. And I guess in my previous videos, I did neglect to bring up one thing. So when it comes down to any company trading on the NASDAQ, if it trades below $1 for 30 consecutive trading days, they get a notice. So basically, Polestar has 6 months to rectify their deficiency. So my apologies, I did neglect to bring up that 6 months thing. There are several things that companies can do in that 6 months. They can either go get up there naturally, which you never know, could happen, right? Or reverse stock split. Most of the time, companies kind of lean on the reverse stock split, but Polestar is kind of a unique circumstance. They actually do produce a shit ton of vehicles, pardon my French, and they are very discounted. So if there is any company that can somehow pull themselves out of this rut, it would be Polestar, if anything. Of course, management would have to continue the good PR and whatever else, and hopefully they're not idiots and they're looking at the stock price and be like, hey, maybe we should put out more news. Clearly, the market likes that. So I don't know. Hopefully they're catching on to this and they don't just like shrug it off like, it's just another day. So again, you have to kind of trust that management isn't dumb at this stage as well. So just wanted to kind of give you an overview of maybe the next steps. So right now we are on day 20, and so it's going to be 30. So basically in a week and a half, we'll find out if we'll get kind of a delisting notice from the NASDAQ, but still they'll have 6 months to kind of rectify that. Today, it did successfully transition from the lower to the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, still below a lot of the key pivotal and moving averages though. You do see a nice bullish deviation on stochastic, so white line above the red. It is still considered oversold, so if Polestar continues the good news, this is where you'll see a rush of value investors, so definitely very positive for that. A number of retail investors bought the hell out of Polestar today, and even aside from that, has been buying ever since the 5th. So let me know your thoughts on Polestar. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Give yourself a shout out if you bought today, if you sold, have you been buying recently, what have you been doing? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo, amazing deal, link in the description below and also the comments. Gives you 5 free shares just for depositing $100. Each one of those shares could be valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of that. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.